Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to do something kind of cool. We're going to unwrap the incredibly complex global system that's hiding inside one of the simplest products you can possibly imagine. Think about it. You've probably had a chocolate bar like this 100 times. But have you ever really stopped to think about the massive, invisible machine that has to work perfectly just to get this little thing into your hands? All right, let's dive right in. We're going to follow the journey of this one simple chocolate bar. And by doing that, we're going to uncover this huge hidden engine that powers pretty much every single product in our lives. It's so much more than just mixing cocoa and sugar. If you want to make millions, maybe even billions of these things, and have them all be exactly the same time after time, well, you need a system, a flawless organizational system. And that's the invisible structure we're going to map out today. So, picture this. You're a massive company. You're operating in dozens of countries. How do you stop everything from turning into complete and utter chaos? Well, there's a blueprint for that. Let's take a look at how they organize everything to keep the machine running smoothly. And that blueprint has a name: organizational structure. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a skeleton for the company. It's the internal framework that tells everyone what to do, where to do it, and how it all fits together. From the CEO all the way down to the factory floor, everyone's pointed in the same direction. Okay, so this structure can seem super complex. How do we even picture it? Well, there's a really great analogy for this. Just think of a funnel. Yeah, this quote from our source material just nails it. You've got this huge company at the top, and as you go down, it gets narrower and more focused, right down to the specific plant and even the single bin where the cocoa beans are stored. It's all about going from the big picture to the tiny details. So let's start at the very top of that funnel, the widest part. That's the company. This is the big name you know, right? The entire global corporation that owns everything. So let's start building this thing out from the top down. First up, you've got the company. This is the highest level, the mothership, the big brain of the whole operation that sets the global strategy. Okay, let's go one level down. Right under the main company, you have something called company codes. See, a giant global company can't just operate as one big blob. It has to break itself down into legal, financial pieces. Usually that means one for every single country they're in. And this is so important for things like paying local taxes and financial reporting. So let's add the company code to our chart. You can already see how that funnel is starting to narrow, right? This layer is what lets that huge global company play by the local rules everywhere it goes, legally and financially, without losing its connection to the bigger picture. Now, at the end of the day, a company has to do two basic things: buy stuff and sell stuff. Simple, right? Well, that's where sales and purchasing organizations come in. These are the super specialized teams that handle everything from buying the raw cocoa beans to making sure the finished chocolate bars actually get onto store shelves. And boom, we slot those right in. This is the commercial engine of the whole thing. I mean, think about it. Without a structured way to buy ingredients and sell products, you've just got a factory with nothing to make and a warehouse full of chocolate that nobody can buy. This layer connects the factory to the world. All right, now we're getting down to where the magic really happens, the plant. This is the brick-and-mortar factory. It's the physical place where all those ingredients get mixed, cooked, and turned into the actual chocolate bar. This is where the plan becomes a product you can hold. And there you have it. With the plant, our main blueprint is complete. You see this structure, this funnel? This is what lets a company operate all over the world without falling apart. It's how they make sure every single chocolate bar tastes the same, no matter which factory it came out of. So how on earth do you remember all these layers? Well, in the real world, professionals use a little memory hack to keep it straight. The whole thing is pretty long, but the core journey we just took is the most important part. Company to company code to sales and purchasing down to the plant. That's the main highway from an idea to a product. Okay, so we've seen the whole map. Now let's zoom in on that one critical spot, the plant. This is where all that corporate strategy becomes a delicious reality. I just love this description. The plant is the backbone. It's not just a building with machines, it's the structural support for the entire operation. Without it, the company is just a bunch of emails and spreadsheets. The plant is what makes it real. And inside that backbone, there's a very specific 5-step dance that happens every single time they make something. First, they figure out how much to make. That's demand management. Then, they calculate all the ingredients needed. Third, they create the official factory order. Fourth, the people on the shop floor actually make the chocolate. And finally, they track all those finished bars. It's a well-oiled machine. All right, that was a lot of theory. It's all been a bit abstract, right? So let's make it super concrete. Let's apply this whole blueprint to a made-up company we'll call Choco World. So here's how it all maps out for our company, Choco World. The big company at the top, that's Choco World Group. Its legal entity in the US, the company code, is Choco World USA Inc. Then you have specific teams for sales and for buying cocoa beans. And it all feeds into their plant, the New Jersey Chocolate Factory. See how every abstract level becomes a real, tangible part of the business? Now let's watch the process in action. Choco World needs to make 10,000 chocolate bars. Step 1. The forecast says we need them. Step 2, the system automatically calculates exactly how much cocoa, sugar, and packaging they'll need. Step 3, an official production order gets created. Step 4, the New Jersey factory gets to work and makes the chocolate. And Step 5, the system updates and 10,000 fresh bars are logged into the warehouse inventory. So clean, so efficient, and you can do it a million times. And that's the whole thing. It starts as an idea, a forecast in a corporate office. It travels down through this incredibly detailed organizational blueprint, and it comes out the other side as a chocolate bar in your hand. That's the real power of this hidden structure. So we've just peeled back the wrapper on the invisible system behind a simple chocolate bar. But here's the thing. This kind of blueprint, it's everywhere. It's behind your phone, your car, your shoes. So the next time you pick up, well, anything, ask yourself, what's its hidden